Welcome back. It's Market Day Report here on a Thursday. I'm Tony St. James. Grab a cup of coffee. We're ready to open markets. How about we start with the corn market in Chicago? 3 cents higher on the front 2 months. Old crop 368 1/4. New crop 393 3/4. Could any of this be based upon the weekly export sales report released by USDA roughly an hour and 15 minutes ago? Well, we'll find out in a moment. But September beans at 970 1/4, 11 3/4 higher. New crop at 987 3/4, up 10 3/4, trying to push towards $10 in trade today. Wheat market, we see 577,000 metric tons inspected. That means going out, actually exporting, according to USDA, going to Japan, Mexico, and Vietnam. What will the market do with that? Well, September, Chicago 510 3/4, down 3.5. July off 2 1/4 at 577 1/4. Hard red down a nickel front month at 539 3/4, with July at the bottom of the range. It's about a 5-cent range at 577, down a penny 3/4. And in Minneapolis, we're higher, 3 cents higher on nearly all the contracts, including September, 557 1/2. Can cotton turn it around today? On a turnaround Thursday, maybe 69.46 on the new crop. That's up 91 points. Well, we turn around and talk with Tommy Grisafi. Tommy's with Advanced Trading on the other side of Nashville, I think, today. But Tommy, when we talk the export sales numbers, it's really just looking at what's in the rear view mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need these sales. We're so far behind on sales. We need a bunch of these sales just to stop from going down. I like the price action in soybeans today. We'd hope is not a marketing plan, but we hope soybeans kiss that $10 level. You got to think, Tony, where we were on Sunday night. Gap open lower in soybeans on Pro Farmer News. Trade down 13 cents. Close up 9 on the day. We've had a little volatility. Looking at my iPhone, though, right before I came on, a lot of markets moving today. We didn't have this much volatility in outside markets, but I see markets like crude oil or gold or Bitcoin coming back bid. It's nice to see the volatility. I told folks yesterday, I feel like everyone left for a holiday because we have a holiday this weekend, but yet maybe the traders are still out there. Thursday, packed with economic data. NVIDIA earnings were out yesterday. The world didn't end. Dow Jones at 41,000. Hopefully, we can get these ag markets just to trickle up so our farmers and clients could have a little chance to give it a sale right before they start harvest. Harvest is going to happen. We're going to have a boomer of a crop here in America. We're in the bushel business. Back to you, my friend.
Okay, we also get GDP numbers this morning. Grew at an annual rate of 3.0. Jobless claims 231,000. That's initial, but we did see it tick higher on the continuous, 1.8 million still there. You mentioned crude. I want to bring that up real quick as well. We get the crude oil stocks and we got gasoline stocks from EIA yesterday, and October crude now 76.32, up $1.80. Is there room for this to continue going higher?
Oh, absolutely, Tony. With all the problems going on in the world, we're one explosion away from having $85, $90 crude. But somehow, it seems like every time crude oil goes in the 80s, it gently calms down, goes to lower 70s. If you look at a monthly chart, we're very much range bound. But intraday, these $1.70 moves give traders an opportunity to get involved in markets.
Okay. How about we come back in just a moment? We'll look at how livestock markets have opened up for the day. And Tommy comes back with some expert analysis. Market Day Report continues after this. This is Market Day Report. And livestock markets are open now. Let's look at live cattle. We trade in Chicago, and the October down 25 cents at 178.37. We're seeing a 60-cent loss early on in the December contract for live cattle, even up to a 75-cent loss out in the February contract. Now for sales for beef, according to USDA, this morning, 17.2 thousand metric tons. The actual inspections, 14.8 thousand. South Korea, Japan, and China, the three biggest receiving U.S. beef in the previous week. Feeder cattle, August lower, September 70 lower at 240.60, and we're seeing dollar-plus losses from October through January. Hog trade, well, we saw pork, according to USDA, sales of 42.2 thousand metric tons and 29.3 thousand metric tons actually inspected for export. Mexico, Japan, and Colombia among the top three. We don't see China there. Is that a concern? We'll find out in just a moment. But October hogs down a nickel, 81.62. December dime lower, 71.82, and the May contract ticking higher. Let's bring back in Tommy Grisafi with advanced trading. We really like to see China when it comes to cashing in some yuan for U.S. pork, but those top three, China not there.
Now, China's wonderful at getting a hold of us when they need something. They're like that family member who only calls you when they need something. If they need corn, they'll come to America. If they need pork, they'll come to America. I feel like they try to go everywhere else but us. They have relationships all over the world. They're the best traders in the world. Sounds weird to say you're in America, but the Chinese are just wonderful at accumulating things at the lows. Look what they're doing here in soybeans last few days. Just China buying, China buying, China buying right as soybeans hit multi-year lows. So prices get cheap enough, maybe you'll see them dip their hand back in. For the most part, though, when you talk about the cattle market switching over there, love that the stock market's holding up. So many people have that the world's going to end. Hard to say the world's ending. 41,000, the Dow. We got an election coming up in 60 days. Lots of volatility, lots of opportunities. Let's hope people keep consuming beef. I will say this. I was at a restaurant last night in Nashville, and we went by and looked at the price for a steak. The cheapest steak on that menu was $67. That was for the cheap one. Of course, my wife tugged at my arm, and we went somewhere else. So good call on her part. But I feel bad for the beef producers. When you're competing with a price that high, maybe we should have just went down the street and had the ultimate steak, a hamburger. We're more in that hamburger economy right now myself. How about you, my friend?
Well, and that's one of the big challenges as we trade down from the, let's say, ribeye, maybe to a sirloin, to, well, something else before we get down to the ground beef. But we have to import in order to get the lean percentage that we've become accustomed to as Americans. We like the marbling, we like the fat in the steak, but not so much in the hamburger. Will that be a concern moving forward as well?
Well, we're going to keep an eye on it. And for all your viewers and listeners, Tony, don't be worried. I'm not malnourished. I'm doing just fine. Somehow we're consuming calories as consumers. It's just they're shifting. It's really expensive to eat high quality protein all the time. Watch some of these guys on the internet, and they're on these carnivore diets. It's expensive to go to a Costco or a big box store and say, I'm going to go buy all high quality proteins for the week. Sometimes it's easier to just have a little bit of rice, or Italian like me likes a little pasta once in a while. Back to you, my friend.
Well, enjoy the pasta, and we'll slip you back in here to visit with us again soon. Tommy Grisafi with Advanced Trading.